welcome to another edition of Evan Ginzburg's Legends TV, our final episode of 2014. And next week is our third year, believe it or not, and Jon Winell, poet and co-host, has been a big part of it. Welcome back.
Wow, I can't believe it's going on 3 years.
That's right.
It's really very exciting. It's been an exciting ride.
The days go slowly and the years kind of fly by, like when I deal with these horrible corporations that I was battling all day yesterday. And joined by R&B singer Sheldon Price. How are you today, sir?
Hey, good evening. Glad to be here.
All the way from Philly.
Philly in the house. Philly in the house.
That's right. Some of my greatest memories of music, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes and the Stylistics and the Delphonics and all these great acts out of Philly, right? That's right. That's right.
That's that Philly royalty.
That's right. Royalty is right.
That's that Philly royalty.
Speaking of royalty, we have some mutual friends, Butch Ingram and Rob Russin.
Absolutely.
So
Rob
we want to acknowledge them.
Friend.
That's right.
Yeah, I've been knowing Rob for 10 to 15 years. Rob Russin's a boxing promoter. He's a wrestling promoter. Rob does many things and knows a lot of things about a lot of things.
And he also deals with medications to battle cancer. He's a very eclectic guy.
Yeah. He knows a lot of things about a lot of things.
That's right. That's right. And you know a lot of things about a lot of things. You're a true veteran. Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I started off, when I was in grade school. Mrs. McGaldy was going to give me a paddling. And I asked her, could I sing? And she says, yeah. You know what I mean? So she brings the whole school out because she really wanted to give me a paddling. You know what I mean, or teach me a lesson, but I sang and everybody liked it, and I've been singing ever since.
There you go.
In Philly, I sang in a group called Philly Cream.
We had Philly Cream on the show.
It was a different Philly.
Right.
Yeah, that was a different Philly Cream.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you started singing at the age of 7.
Yeah.
So tell us a little about what was that like?
Well, at the age of 7, I didn't get really a lot of shows, but my mother was a singer. She sang on TV.
Did you sing about romance and broken hearts and all of that?
Yeah, because that's what we knew. I didn't know what I was singing about. Right. That's exactly what we knew. I sang stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I used to sing on my mother's stereo. She had this big, long stereo. And she said, Sheldon, get up there and sing. You know what I mean? And I would get up there and sing,
And in the green room?
Oh, the old cabinet style stereo. Yeah, we had one of those.
Then I started singing in the stage band, in Pittsburgh, and I sang with a guy, Vince Colaiuto. He's #1 drummer in the world.
Wow.
He was my what do you call it? He was my drummer. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
In the green room, we were talking about Sarah Vaughan and some of the all-time greats. Tell us who were some of the people that influenced you.
And Lou Rawls.
Lou Rawls, yeah.
Billy Eckstine. Sarah Vaughan. Whitney Houston.
Ironically, I like the early Lou Rawls better than the million-selling Lou Rawls. I like the Tobacco Road era Lou Rawls more so than some of the more commercial stuff later. What's your take on that?
Funny you said that. Me and the young gentleman that's going to play the guitar,
Robert Ross.
We're going to do a little bit of Tobacco Road.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Beautiful. That's an awesome song.
Yeah.
And Robert Ross is an awesome blues guitarist.
Oh, I was listening to him. I mean, he sounds fantastic.
Virtuoso.
I can't wait to get
Mr.
it done.
B, Billy Eckstine. My God, that goes back.
Billy Eckstine is one of the greatest baritones I've ever heard. I mean, you got Lou Rawls, you got Billy Eckstine, you got Will Downing, and one of my friends I thought was one of the greatest singers I've ever heard. Her name was Vesta Williams. She came out with Sweet Sweet Love. She came out with Something About You, and her first hit was Once Bitten, Twice Shy.
And tell us a little about your friendship with the late Vesta Williams.
Well, I was sitting home laying on the couch, and my friend Sonny Redding, he was singing background for the Commodores, and he called me up. He said, "There's a girl I want you to meet." And I says, "Man, come on." You know what I mean? He just came into town, and they were at Valley Forge. So I says, okay. You know what I mean? So I went up there, and I met her. She says, "Well, do you have any, you're a singer?" And I says, "Yeah." She says, "Well, do you have anything that you sing?" And I said, yeah, you know, and I let her listen to my track. She said, oh, okay, you know, that's hot. That's hot. You know what I mean? And then say, for instance, she went on stage, and I was amazed because she was doing Donna Summer's, you know, Hard for the Money. She was doing a lot of Donna Summer's tunes, you know, and because she hadn't had a hit record yet. She was just in the beginning of her, I guess, her career. So after that, we went back to her room, and there was a whole bunch of people around, and I noticed that she can command, you know, the attention of everybody and talk to everybody all at once. I was like, this is a great talent. This girl's got talent, you know what I mean? So after that, we just started hanging out and just shedding and talking and, you know, being around each other.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And why don't you set up the video that you chose of her?
Oh, we have a video guy right there. I think that's his cue, you know?
Well, set it up. Tell us what the video is.
This one right here is Sweet, Sweet Love. This is the song that made her cross over into pop. Okay. It's called Sweet, Sweet Love.
There you go. Enjoy, folks. that was the great Vesta Williams. And
my girl.
how do you rate her among the all-time greats?
Amongst the all-time greats, let's put it this way. She was a very, very humble person. But when she came into town, people like Patti LaBelle, Phyllis Hyman, I've stood next to Phyllis Hyman, and Phyllis Hyman would say things like, great energy, her diction, her power is just,
Anita
off the
Baker
chart.
came to watch her as well.
Oh, Anita Baker, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Anita Baker used to come and just watch her, and watch what she does. A lot of singers that want to be great singers, they used to come and just watch her because she would do something great every night.
Wow. Unbelievable. Nice tribute to her. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
my girl. That's the,
And you toured, you've been in Vegas and Atlantic City. Tell us about some of your career highlights.
Well, I've been in Atlantic City. I toured. There was a guy, his name is Joe Teets. He was the biggest AAU bodybuilding promoter in the country. So every casino in Atlantic City, I sang in them.
Wow.
I sang in all of them. I sang in Vegas. I played in a lot of clubs. I played in clubs, good clubs, big clubs, small clubs, from here to Delaware, from here to New York, down south. I played a lot of clubs. The club that I wanted to play and I never got to play was the Latin Casino. Never got to play the Latin Casino.
Elegant.
Never got to play it,
What do you think of the club scene today?
It's really, really different. Music is changing today, but a love song, a good love song with a good hook, with good lyrics, and a good story will never go out of style. People like Eric Benet and Maxwell.
I love Maxwell.
They will never, ever go out of style because women are always going to fall in love. And believe it or not, men fall in love too.
My wife is Korean. I took her to see Maxwell at Madison Square
Oh,
Garden.
yeah. I was there. I
Yeah,
told you. Yeah, I was there.
She understood maybe 12 words, and she fell in love
But
with
it
Maxwell.
was the feel. It was
exactly.
the feel.
Exactly.
What is actually going on is that feel.
I think Maxwell and Anthony Hamilton
Oh.
and very few others
yeah.
could have held their own back in the day, but they could. They could.
Yeah. Yeah. I
who
love
else?
Sade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, love Sade. The way she makes you so sad.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, what is her life really about? Because sometimes she just makes me so sad, but it's a good sad.
Exactly.
I can live, because she lived through it.
And we're going to hear you do a live set later in the show and also
Absolutely.
perform with the great Robert Ross,
Absolutely.
virtuoso blues guitarist, and it's going to be great. And John's going to do a poetry set later, so we have a lot of live entertainment coming. But please give out any social media, any contact information.
I'm on 48 websites. You name it, from Spotify to Shazam to Amazon, Facebook. You can buy me on iTunes, 99 cents a song. If you like what it is that I'm doing, hey. My next project, I need $20,000, so please keep buying it.
Poets usually have cash, 20 grand in their pocket.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
Flowing out of my
That's right.
socks, my eyelids,
That's right.
There you
my
go.
eyes,
And by the way, my producer's name is Gerald Beasley. Gerald Beasley was Grover Washington's musical director. So the music that you hear in back of me is the nucleus of Grover Washington.
You've
how
surrounded
exciting.
yourself with virtuoso artists. And,
Well, actually, Vesta picked him.
wow.
Vesta says, who do you have as potential producers? I says, this, that, and this, that. She said, Gerald Beasley, if you can get him, get him.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very
So
impressive. Very
I went
impressive.
and I auditioned for him, and the rest is history.
There you go. And John, please plug your book.
Yeah, there it is up there. Poems for Everyday People. And if you like the book, please contact me, Jon Winell, JONWINELL, at Facebook or at yahoo.com, or, and we can arrange something. And it's for the holidays, for this holiday, for Chinese New Year, for regular New Year. I mean,
That's right.
any time. Poetry's for, it's like music. It's for all the time, for timeless.
Absolutely.
And apartment 4B, like in Brooklyn, about the East Flatbush Brooklyn of the turbulent 60s and 70s, where yours truly grew up, a autobiographical short story collection. We are sure you'll enjoy it. And we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Ross, blues great, joins the conversation.
All right.
be on top again. I'm not gonna let you take me down. It's gonna be the whole 9 yards or nothing.
See,
All right, Evan Ginzburg back with Legends TV. And before we bring out our next distinguished guest, I just want to acknowledge a few people. We could not do this show with Steve Ludwig. Steve Ludwig, we couldn't do without you. And he's taken a couple weeks off for the holidays, and Steve will be back next week. And also want to acknowledge Main Event Madness and my buddies Alfonso Merriman and John Curry. These guys have been helping me with some of the website work because I am not too technically savvy, so I couldn't do it without them. And we want to show a quick plug for Main Event Madness radio. So check out this little video clip, folks.
So you're cruising around the internet looking for some entertainment. What if I told you there's a hard-hitting, fresh, and opinionated podcast out there covering everything from WWE and TNA to the NFL, the NBA, and MLB? Well, that's reality. Main Event Madness is here. Don't miss us every week on MainEventMadness.com as well as on TuneIn Radio and Stitcher.com. Main Event Madness, our wrestling, your sports, simply madness.
All right. And that's Main Event Madness Radio. And also want to acknowledge All Pro Wrestling Facebook page and creator David Lopez. So these are some people that have helped me out in my other life in the pro wrestling business. And without further ado, we are joined by the great, and I mean great, Robert Ross.
Robert Ross.
When I use words like virtuoso, one of the all-time great blues guitarist. So
There's one. I'm going to put that on my resume.
that's right. That's right.
Evan said.
No, I sincerely mean it. You know, I've seen everybody, and I'm not easily impressed. I used to go see Albert Collins and the late great Albert Collins, Buddy
was a
Guy, of
nasty
course.
guitar
Yeah, some
Buddy Guy.
of the greats, and you know,
Howlin' Wolf.
well, he was a little before my time, though.
But Hubert Sumlin, right?
Yeah, Hubert Sumlin we saw many times, and met many times, and what a gentleman.
Muddy Waters.
I never saw him live. But
I never saw Muddy either. Well,
I loved Albert Collins, the master of the Telecaster.
Oh, he was bad. He was bad.
So since we're on that, who are some of the people that influenced you?
Well, early on, my earliest influences, I think, were Mike Bloomfield and Eric Clapton when he was playing with John Mayall.
John Mayall's still out there.
you know, and then I found B.B. King, and from there I found Albert King and Freddie King, and
All the Kings.
anybody named King was good.
Yeah, that's
A lot of
right.
Kings.
A lot of Kings.
People don't even mention Mike Bloomfield anymore.
Mike
the great,
Bloomfield, oh my
great
God.
Mike Bloomfield.
How do you feel
Oof.
about Stevie Ray Vaughan and Paul Butterfield going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Well, I think it's well deserved. I mean, the blues is the heart of rock and roll. And Stevie Ray Vaughan was a phenomenal guitar player. I remember I was touring with J.B. Hutto,
Wow.
Chicago blues man, and we were touring in Texas, in Austin. When we got to Austin, somebody put on a cassette tape. This was like 1981. Somebody put on a cassette tape of this unknown guy who was pretty popular in Austin. And I was like, oh my God, I don't even want to hear that. It was so flawless. And so, what a wonderful guitar player. A lot of technical facility, but always very soulful at the same time. Wonderful player and a very underrated singer.
I saw Jimmy Vaughan with the Fabulous Thunderbirds at the Beacon Theater, and Stevie Ray Vaughan was playing the Garden that night, and this was a midnight show, so Stevie Ray Vaughan comes from the Garden over to the Beacon, and he's jamming with Jimmy Vaughan and the Thunderbirds, and later after the show, he's signing autographs and taking pictures, and the most humble, gracious guy you'd ever want to meet. It's nice when your heroes are not zeros, you know?
Right.
I didn't know that Butterfield also got inducted. It's about time with him, too. I mean, he brought that great sound that nobody else was doing, that Chicago.
But sometimes I just cringe at the people who are not inducted. Like they nominated the Spinners this year. How do you not put the Spinners in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Sheldon? They've had 20 million selling records. They're out there 50 years,
I mean,
one of the greatest stage acts ever.
Who's voting? I mean, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good question. Who's voting?
I mean, that it took so long for Butterfield and I mean, Paul Butterfield, my God, what an influence.
That's a good question. Who's voting?
Chic was nominated as well, and I understand the disco stigma, although Chic is a great live R&B band. If you,
That's a good group.
See, I think Nile Rodgers. I think Nile Rodgers on his own would have a better chance of getting in.
He's not inducted. Nile Rodgers isn't.
I don't know.
The great Nile Rodgers. Oh my God.
But Chic got like 1% of the vote, and the Spinners got like 1%. It's insane, absolutely insane. So I'm going to be picketing outside the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with a big sign, induct the Spinners and Chic. Those are two of my all-time favorites.
You know, they've only been around, how long has the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame been around? Not that long.
30 years? I don't know.
That's not very long.
Yeah, that's true when you think about it.
They got to get around everybody.
You know Felipe Wynn, the Spinners? Oh, yeah. How great was he?
Fantastic.
And nobody sounded like him.
Fantastic. It's just a phenomenal talent.
He went from there to P-Funk, and he died on stage. Felipe
That
Wynn.
I didn't know.
Yeah, oh yeah. 45 years old or so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, but nobody sounded like him.
It was unbelievable. He had an unbelievable voice.
That's right.
Unbelievable.
So Robert, what's been doing lately? We've been reminiscing about some influence, but what's been happening, as of late?
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to some shows in the new year. Brand new year, 2015. Woohoo.
Yeah.
And I got a show at the Turning Point up in Piermont, New York on January 3rd. It's a Saturday night. I always love playing up at the Turning Point. We've been playing there for close to 30 years, I believe. And it's really kind of like home to us. And the audiences are great up there. And it's a small club. It's intimate.
Right.
Maybe like 100 people would like absolutely pack the place. You could squeeze in 105 if you're lucky, if they're on a diet.
With a shoe on, right?
With a shoe
We
on.
have the fire marshal come in there.
Yeah, with some Vaseline. Push people in.
And since we're talking about blues clubs, what's the state of the blues in 2015? Because I know in New York, Chicago Blues and Tramps and so many clubs that featured the blues have gone under. I know you appear at B.B. King's regularly, at Lucille's.
Right, I've been playing there with Felix Cabrera.
The great Felix Cabrera.
As
He's
you
been on
know.
the show many times.
And so we've been doing a quartet, guitar, bass, drums, and harmonica. 2 singers, and it's always been a lot of fun. B.B. King's is great. Fabulous audience is there. It's a little
Beautiful
bit larger.
venue.
Yeah, they have a little bit more room to stretch out.
Yeah.
It's a fun place to play.
Now, I find it almost upsetting that there's so few blues clubs in New York, per se. You know, straight blues clubs. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. If I had an answer to that one, you know, like 20 years ago, like you said, there were a lot of clubs that closed up. There were a lot of really great clubs. Most of them were blues clubs. Some of them had more than just blues. Like some of them had jazz, like the Village Gate closed up.
The Gate.
Tramps had a little of everything.
Tramps. There were 2 Tramps.
Right.
They both closed up. The Lone Star Roadhouse, the Lone Star
Lone
Cafe.
Star,
These were
yeah.
places that we played all the time.
I saw Felix Cabrera open for James Brown at the Lone Star. Yeah, yeah.
That must have been a thrill.
It was great. What's
I know
better than that?
I know he played. He opened up for James Brown like at least 4, 5, 6 times.
Yeah.
We used to open up a lot for Albert King over there.
Yeah, the great Albert King.
So like they had a system. Like they had certain bands opening up for certain headliners.
Right.
So Felix was paired up with James Brown,
James Brown.
and we were paired up with Albert.
Wow.
And
How
you know, every
exciting.
time he came in, you know, we knew that we were going to be playing there.
Awesome.
Kind of cool.
So I'm going to throw this out to both you gentlemen. You always hear the blues are dead, R&B is dead, hip-hop is dead, jazz is dead, everything's dead, only it isn't. What's that all about?
It's the way that the youth internalize, which buy most of the records, what gets played, what doesn't get played. The radio stations has 40 slots on a radio station a day, and those slots are being filled by the same people over and over and over and over again. And the blues and R&B is not really the ones that are being heard. It's who's
But a lot of
being
kids are
heard.
tone deaf.
I believe that they are, but they buy a certain style of music.
You want to know something? We regularly have hip-hop acts on this show. I have nothing but respect for intelligent indie hip-hop acts.
Right.
But some of the commercial stuff is absolute crap. And, you know, some of the kids can't distinguish between the two. If you're catering your product to a 16-year-old, I don't think they're going to be quite as discerning.
Right.
Right, John? You've met so many of the hip-hop acts on this
there's
show.
some real talented and intelligent people that have something to say, and they're decent people, and that's the message, you know, coming
Socially
together.
conscious.
I mean, some
A
you know,
positive message that maybe can teach us something.
When I was booking Gizzies, you saw some of these hip-hop artists. They were great.
So soon.
That's right. So Soon was here just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and still has the same positive message.
Yeah.
And the guy who did the theme for the show, Cooley High, right?
That's
Isn't
right.
that Cooley's
That's right.
music? Yeah, which is dynamite.
So we're middle-aged guys who support hip-hop, and I don't see anything wrong with that. But when you're putting the mainstream hip-hop, where it's all, I shouldn't say all, but a lot of it is materialism and sexist and, you know, et cetera,
See, Evan,
so on.
you need to, you know, we need guys like you and with the philosophy of like the old Bill Graham, put everything together.
That's what we do
that
right here.
oleo stew. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, you know, so it turns people on. So someone who never heard it before can say, hey, that sounds great.
I'm
You
going
know,
to throw this out.
Mix everything.
I throw this out for all you guys. The other thing that gets me crazy is older people who go, there's been no good music since the Beatles broke up, and younger people who go, oh, that's corny, that's my parents' music. Why embrace being narrow-minded? It gets me nuts.
It's the way that the youth internalize what's being heard. Like, say, for instance, when I was young, I thought when I heard Rick James, I thought he was the greatest thing since pie.
Right, right.
You know, my daughter came along and she loved Biggie. My
I love
son
both.
came along. My son came along. He loves Eminem.
I like all of them.
Loves Eminem.
You
I mean, he just sits there and just vegetates. You know, But
I mean, I remember growing up with my dad playing the modern jazz quartet, and just hearing jazz all the time. I mean, I would never.
Those guys were elegant. Milt Jackson. What's better than the modern jazz quartet?
I remember meeting them and calling my dad and say, "Hey, guess who I'm meeting right now?" And I remember listening to those old, and they recorded on Apple Records. That's the
Really?
Beatles. Yeah, the
Wow,
early
you
MJ.
taught me
Yeah.
something.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Under the Jasmine Tree is on Apple Records.
I once
Yeah,
saw the
wow.
modern jazz quartet with Betty Carter in a torrential downpour. I'll never forget it. And they were still great. The
Sure.
great Betty. How great a vocalist was Betty Carter?
Great
Betty
singer.
Carter she had a niche audience, but she had great pipes.
That's right.
She had great pipes.
Carmen McRae underrated
Carmen
as well.
McRae was a very classy,
Yeah.
very classy
Who else I love?
woman.
Annie Ross.
Who?
Annie Ross.
Annie Ross.
Lambert Hendricks and Ross.
That I never heard
Oh,
Vote-
yeah.
Lambert Hendricks and
Interesting,
Ross. And Ross, vocalese.
They
Tremendous.
were
did like
amazing
a Count,
together.
Count Basie record where they
Never heard
sang
Cloudburst?
No.
Da, 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 da. You know Cloudburst?
Yeah,
No.
beautiful record. Check
You
it
guys
out.
are better singers than me. I'm not
Very
going to do
famous
it.
on Sony.
Yeah.
Annie Lambert, John Hendricks,
Jon Hendricks.
Annie Ross, and whoever, and Lambert. But yeah, they were
I mean,
enormous.
as
in
a
that day.
singer, you would marvel, right? At the vocalese, tremendous.
The harmonies, the
Yeah.
scat singing.
You know who else was underrated? Eddie Jefferson.
Who?
Eddie Jefferson.
I heard Eddie
Also in that
Jefferson.
same vein, like
Who was
Lambert Hendricks and
underrated was
Ross.
a great singer was Johnny Hartman.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the great. We were just
Yeah, yeah,
talking
yeah.
about
Another
the Lush
baritone.
line.
Johnny Hartman never left his own. He played 2 or 3 places, and he would not travel.
Little Jimmy Scott just passed.
Right.
How great was he? Nobody sounded like him.
And Earl Coleman was a good singer he sang with Charlie Parker. I mean, a little earlier than Johnny Hartman.
I
Earl
am.
Coleman. He was a good singer too. Not quite Billy Eckstein, but in that range. But nobody's
Prysock.
Billy.
Oh yeah, Arthur Prysock.
Arthur Prysock
Arthur
was real
Prysock.
good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
You know.
forever in my parents' debt for introducing me to Mel Torme and Joe
Mel Torme is
Williams.
a great singer.
Yeah.
How great was Joe Williams?
Joe Williams, Mel Torme, Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra, my favorite, Dean
Ella.
Martin.
Dean Martin.
Dean
Yeah, whoa.
Martin.
What
you know.
timing those guys had. Oh,
Sammy Davis Jr. Sammy
Sammy
Davis
Davis.
Jr. was, he did some of the things that I've never seen anybody to do. He was the fastest gun in the West. His live shows were
He could drum. He could do everything.
amazing. You
Could
know,
do everything.
He was just
Well,
amazing.
Torme
He was a
started
tap
as a
dancer.
drummer,
He
yeah,
was
yeah.
as good as Hines. You know,
My
he was
parents
great.
saw him in Golden Boy on Broadway. My parents saw everybody.
Yeah.
They said it was as great as anything they've ever seen. Sammy Davis in his prime.
Yeah, he was great. He
Okay,
was
now-
great.
Did
so-
some great movies.
So,
Yeah.
who are some of the
Sweet
people?
Charity, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
was
absolutely.
watching. He made a version of Golden Boy, I believe.
Did he do that? Did he do Straight?
In the
Well, he was
film.
in Porgy and Bess. He's
Yeah,
tremendous.
He played
Sporting Life.
Life.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was written for. Wasn't that Cab Calloway was written for?
I think so. Yeah.
Sporting Life?
Cab was great.
Because that's earlier.
He might have done it on Broadway. I
But
could
it
be
was,
wrong.
It was
I could be wrong.
written. I mean, maybe later Sammy Davis did Sporting Life, but much later.
In the movie.
In the movie.
Oh, in the movie.
In the movie, yeah, yeah.
In the movie, because that was written. I mean, that was pretty much written for Cab
Cab.
Calloway
So
in the
since
30s.
since we're all showing our age now, who are some of the people we're listening to today? I love Maxwell, Jill Scott, Avery Sunshine's tremendous, Lettucey.
Yeah, I mean, I have a very eclectic palette. I like Aaliyah.
Okay.
I go from Aaliyah, then I'll listen to Gerald Veasley, play bass. I like Vesta, I like Anita Baker. I love Whitney Houston.
Sure.
I like some of the new people coming out on. I forget this girl. She sounds like Mariah Carey, a young girl. I forget her name, but she's so good.
Well, there was this Adele that made a nice record.
Adele makes great records.
That everybody seemed to hear.
There's great music being made.
Oh yeah.
There's
And,
great
and a
music
lot of it
being
are by
made.
indie artists who aren't getting the showcase they should.
Yeah, I
and
like
that's-
Frankie Beverly.
I love Frankie Beverly.
Frankie Beverly is one of the. He's talking about underrated. He's one of the most underrated.
What's better than Joy and Pain, right?
Yeah, he's one of the most underrated singers I've ever heard in my
Yeah,
life.
Frankie Beverly's tremendous.
Yeah.
I saw him open for Marvin Gaye in 1976 at Radio City.
Marvin Gaye was amazing.
Marvin Gaye was my hero.
That was amazing. His whole body of work was amazing.
Yeah, starting the early duets to the more socio-political
Yeah.
stuff.
To this day, I say the What's Going On album may be the greatest album ever recorded.
It's
right up
really,
there.
really good.
It's flawless.
Certainly
really,
up
really
there.
good.
That's
yeah.
what Smokey Robinson said too when
He
he
said
first
that.
heard it.
I said
Yeah.
it first. No,
You
I'm
said
kidding.
it.
You know the Hear My Dear album? The divorce settlement album?
Yeah.
That's actually painful to listen to.
Yeah.
He has songs like "When Did You Stop Loving Me? When Did I Stop Loving You?"
Yeah.
He had to give the the residuals from the album to the wife in the
Yeah.
divorce settlement.
God.
Yeah.
Talk about the blues, right?
Oh,
That
my
is
God.
the blues.
Yeah.
But anyway, Rob, anything else coming up that you'd like to plug?
Yeah, aside from the Turning Point on the 3rd, I'm doing the first Tuesday of every month at a club called the Wayland. It's on Avenue C in Manhattan,
Okay,
Oh, man.
in Alphabet Land.
there you
The
go.
But they had-
Wayland.
No, but a lot of those clubs were springing up. The neighborhood changed. I remember Avenue C from years ago. I read poetry in this place it was like, you'd look around and, it was nothing.
I had an old
there.
girlfriend at
Yeah, it's much better
186
now.
Avenue A.
Nice neighborhood.
There were 20 drug dealers outside the door, and we'd be sleeping. There'd be
You'd
like
have to step over
cockroaches crawling around.
Things
You
have
know,
changed.
Things have changed. Now it's $3,000 for the apartment.
That's right. That's
$3,000 a
right.
month.
And all,
Yeah.
all the Latin and the Chinese places are all gone, and now it's like
Upscale.
hipster
There's
heaven.
some
Hipsters,
really nice
yeah.
stuff there. There's some
Yeah,
really
yeah.
nice shops.
Totally changed.
It's
Really cool.
A new
Cool neighborhood.
world. Come on in, come on down, Avenue C, right?
Yeah, 9th Street.
That's
East
right.
9th Street. The Wayland. It's very cool. So we're going to be there January 6th, first Tuesday.
And we hope to get you back here with your full band in a couple of weeks or
That'd be
months.
nice. Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And you want to plug any social media or any contact
Well,
information?
yeah, you could go to robertrossband.com, and there's a bunch of stuff up there. There's photos, there's video, there's audio. The whole
you go.
9 yards.
There you go. And also coming up next week, we have music critic Kevin Goins with Rajulari. Her album charted on Billboard and earned a near 4-star review in Downbeat magazine, and also Paul Cowsill of the legendary Cowsills. So this is next week, and we really mix it up here, an eclectic mix. Speaking of which, when we come back from this quick commercial break, we're going to have Sheldon Price singing. We're going to have Robert Ross performing. We're going to have poetry from Jon Winell. We're going to mash them all up. This is going to be hot, folks. Don't you dare go anywhere.
Is this reality? No, I don't feel okay. I need my kaleidoscope of colors to lead the way. I'm riding in my car and I'm coming on around the bend. It's a chase, this twisted race. I'll be on top again. I'm not gonna let you take me down. It's gonna be the whole 9 yards or nothing.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! It's like idol. Power.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce dryer bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power. It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power! Old Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power!
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power! It's me.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue Tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Tell me, have you ever seen my baby? That girl is something to see. I never have to worry, 'cause she don't love nobody, nobody but me. I tell you a little something about that lady. In every way she's fine as can be. I never have to wonder, 'cause she don't love nobody, nobody but me. How do I know? You might ask me. Deep in my heart, that's how I know. She loves me so. Nobody but me. Me. She said she never had a lover that makes her feel the way that I do. I never have to wonder, 'cause she don't love nobody, nobody but me. How do I know? You might ask me. Deep in my heart, that's how I know. She loves me so. Nobody but me. Me. Ooh. She don't want nobody but me. She don't want nobody. She don't want nobody. She don't want nobody but me. She don't know. How do I know? You might ask me. Deep in my heart, that's how I know. She really loves me so. How do I know? Look into your eyes. My life, yeah, it's in no disguise. It's no wonder that I feel that I could do just about anything that I want to through your eyes, through your vision. Makes me whole. Because baby, I feel that you're doing the things that I really need to. And baby girl, when I hold you in my arms, oh baby, just the smell of you, just the way that you walk, just the way that I touch you. together we'll die. Forget about your problems for the rest of the day. And leave them all behind you. It's better that way. And with this crazy pace that we're keeping, we can't forget to take the time. Let's just slow down. Can we slow down? Here we go, nice and slow, round and round. Let's just slow down. Girl, you're steady moving, always on the run. You got to take a minute and have some fun. It really doesn't matter how we spend the night. As long as we're together, everything is alright. And with this crazy pace that we're keeping, can't forget to take the time. Let's just slow down. Can we slow down? Here we go, nice and slow, round and round. Let's just slow down. Let's just slow down. You're always on the run, never no time for fun. Got to remember to take the time. Your time, your time, your time, your time. Take your time. Here we go, nice and slow, round and round and round. Let's just slow down to the slow groove, baby. Can we slow down to the slow groove, baby? Let's just slow down to the slow groove, baby. Here we go, nice and slow, round and round and round. Girl, just slow down. Slow roll, baby. Here we go, nice and slow, round and round and round. Let's just slow down. Come on, slow roll, baby.
that race, I'll be on top again. I'm not gonna let you take me down. It's gonna be the whole nine yards or nothing.
Hi, I'm Jerry Parisi. Join me on the premiere of the Long Island Filmmaker Show, only on Madhouse TV, beginning Friday, August 22nd from 6 to 7 p.m. My guests, Tom and Vicky Mealy, Violet LeCarry, and Jacqueline DeSimone. It should be some show. See you then. Perfect. Hi, I'm Jerry Parisi. Join me on the premiere of the Long Island Filmmaker Show, only on Madhouse TV, beginning Friday, August 22nd from 6 to 7 p.m. My guests, Tom and Vicky Mealy, Violet LeCarry, and Jacqueline DeSimone. It should be some show. See you then. Perfect. Hi, I'm Jerry.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this, you'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue tequila. Now, you mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! He's like, I don't. Power!
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce dryer bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power!
Okay, this is for Evan Ginzburg and all of us here at Legends TV and Madhouse. Want to wish you a happy and healthy new year, and best wishes to all loved ones, and you know who you are out there. So we're going to do a quick set. I'm joined by my man Robert Ross, and two new poems and an old one from the book. It's called Breaths Beneath a Pool of Light. We float within cool rays of afternoon, two bodies rumbling in dreary gray liquid silence, the scent of lost time covering us in a mirror of sorrow, a circle completing itself. We greet in shadow, the glitter of crystal eyes guiding like a Siamese puzzle unsolved. Breaths beneath a pool of light. Your distance intriguing, I crawl through patches of concrete to capture the arched inflection of each sentence, the curl of each letter as your back beckons intoxication. To dance within the sea as a dolphin, spinning as it jumps, crashing white crests in the sultry hemisphere, only to drink honeyed air when the sun beckons like gold dust. And this second new one goes like this. It's called Quiet Solitude, like a clear lake in summer. Now that storms have passed, tree limbs physique broken, scattered branches and leaves like tossed paper, I sit by the window and revel in the golden blue. My body still achy like that tree, weathered but sturdy. I recall lying on a crystal field beneath a valley of tears, dripping like dust in the brutish hemisphere, where there is no other air or light, counting the distance of each falling morsel. How many memories, glorified and lost, ships entering and departing, leaving stories in the palms of all who'd listened. And this last one from the book, my tribute to Van Gogh the painter. It's called Van Gogh's Cypress. Again, Happy New Year. Pungent odors of earth emerge through infinite amber fields. You stop to watch a cloud of menacing crows devour hidden insects between reeds. Apple and pear blossoms open, fragile buds, aromatic temptations to intoxicated honeybees. Alone, you scratch lines, implanting tendrils like a jackstraw. Ever so keenful eye, the sower tossing seed, miners emerging from a soiled pit, harassed by light and exhaustion. You flood onto white canvases. A cypress stands in a wheat field, a lookout for predators, the foolish sun, the incessant nagging of flowers. Worn out by drinking, you return to that yellow house whose cracking green floor and red blanket are surrounded by silent objects which seem to have fallen from the sky. Plagued by murderous dreams, you return to the garden to wrestle with angels, yet unlike Jacob, you awaken, destitute, bothered by the sun whose presence hisses through the window slats, announcing another day's struggles with the wind. Thank you.
It's gonna be the whole 9 yards on
going to do a live commercial. Hi, I'm Renee Marie. I'm the president of Language of Love Incorporated Foundation. I'm really happy to tell you that we're going to be doing a Language of Love telethon on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please look for the location on my website, ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And the show will be hosted on the Madhouse TV. It really is important for you to be aware of strokes and aphasia. Strokes is the third leading cause of death in America and the first leading cause of disability. And it really is something that plays no favoritism. And it also really comes when you're not expecting. Nobody expects to have a stroke, and nobody expects to suffer from aphasia. And it really does make a huge impact in your life and change your life in one split second. So we look forward to having everyone join us once again on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you can follow us on ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. Once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And we look forward to seeing you. God bless.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue Tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Guests were startled, one and all, to hear that waiter oddly call. One meatball, one meatball. Hey, this here gent wants one meatball. The little man felt ill at ease. He said, some bread's on if you please. Waiter hollers down the hall, you get no bread with one meatball. One meatball. No bread with one meatball. The little man felt very bad. One meatball was all he had. You hear the cook repeat the call. You get no bread with one meatball. One meatball. One meatball. Hey, you get no bread with one meatball. Ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-da-da. Wa-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-da-da. Wa-da-ba-da-da. What a ball, what a ball, 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 one meatball, one meatball. Hey, you get no bread with one meatball, one meatball, one meatball. What do you think the name of the song is? One meatball, one meatball. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. That's an old song from the 1800s. It was actually written at Harvard University by a fraternity, I believe. And it was based on an old song from the 1600s, which was originally in Italian. It said one fishball, and Josh White got a hold of it, I think in the 1940s. And resurrected the song. Very interesting. And Dave Van Ronk did a wonderful version as well. My name is Robert Ross. You know who you are. And I'm going to do one more song and call it a friend of mine. There is a house in New Orleans. Thank you very, very much. Are we cutting to the commercial? Or am I calling up Sheldon, my very, very good friend, my brand new best friend? Sheldon, how about a hand?
Hey, on Legends TV, here we are. I'm going to do a small tribute to, on Legends TV, a tribute to one of my great friends myself, Mr. Lou Rawls. This is called Dead in the Street. Just follow me. I was raised on a dead end street. I was raised on a dead end street. They say this is a big rich town, but I lived in the poorest parts. I was raised on a dead end street in a city without a heart. I learned to fight before I could eat. It was the only way that I could get along. But when you're raised on a dead end street, you got to be tough and strong. Cause all the guys are out getting in trouble, that's how it's always been. When the odds are all against you, how can you win? Oh yeah. Da 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 da. I was born in a dump. My mama died and my daddy, he got drunk. He left me here to die broke in the middle of Tobacco Road. Oh my Lord, I grew up in a rusty shack. Everything I owe was hanging on my back. And the Lord knows how I love this place called Tobacco Road. Oh my Lord, but it's a home, yes it is. It's the only life that I ever did know. Tobacco Road, 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 Tobacco Road. Tobacco Road. Yeah.
You know you you already want a Toyota. But when you want more from your Toyota store, you want Smithtown Toyota, where every Toyota comes with Smithtown Toyota's Toyota for Life program, giving you lifetime New York State inspections, lifetime 10% discounts on all parts and service, 2 years of complimentary oil changes, 2 years of scheduled maintenance, and more, all at no cost to you. Plus low clear-out deals on every Toyota in stock. Get more from your Toyota store. Hurry to Smithtown Toyota.
Is this reality? No, I don't feel okay. I need my kaleidoscope of colors to lead the way. I'm riding in my car and I'm coming on around the bend. It's a chase, this twisted race. I'll be on top again. I'm not gonna let you take me down. It's gonna be the whole nine yards or nothing.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! Power!
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce dryer bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power! Old Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power!
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power! It's me.
They call it Stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. Yeah, yeah. They call it Stormy Monday, baby, but Tuesday is just as bad. Wednesdays are worse, and the Thursday is oh so sad. I said the eagle flies on Friday. Saturday, I go out to play. I said the eagle flies on Friday. Saturday, I go out to play. And Sunday morning, I get down on my knees and I pray. I said, Lord, 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 Lord. have mercy on me. I said, Lord, 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 have mercy on me. My heart is aching, and I'm deep, deep, deep in misery. They call it stormy Monday, baby, but Tuesday just as bad. I said they call it stormy Monday, baby, but Tuesday is just as bad, bad, bad. Wednesday is worse, and Thursday is oh so sad. Madhouse TV.
You are watching Legends TV.
Madhouse TV is in the house.